Hello, welcome to a groovy, out-of-sight episode of Retrospection. It's 1966, and we're switching on the boob tube and checking out Adamant Lives, that ran for 2 series from 1966 to 1967. My name's Colin, and I'm not an easy man to cage.
And I've tried on multiple occasions, and it's just never taken.
Yeah, a giant mousetrap set.
I was worried then for a second. Wondered where you were going there, but okay, yeah. Do you have the big thing that comes down on top of you and a little bit of one of those, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I can't remember what was in Mousetrap. What was in Mousetrap?
I never played it.
It never worked.
Oh, I never played it, so I don't know. Nobody I knew had it. I never had it. I always wanted it.
Oh, you didn't miss much. It was rubbish. Never worked.
Okay.
No. And my name's Paul, and look at this, a frozen stiff.
The problem with that, Paul, is that although that is a line from the TV episode we watched, that's also something you have said before in normal life.
Many, many times when we do this podcast, and we do our little bit at the beginning where we pick a line from the movie, it does apply to actual life experience.
Odd that, isn't it?
Very odd. It's funny that they're the ones that I gravitate to as well. Have you ever noticed that?
Oh, yeah, I have. It's written down in my book of disgusting things Paul does.
Is it a big book?
Oh, it's massive.
Hey, that's what I like.
It's 5 volumes.
Yeah, I like a big one.
Yeah, no, you do. TVDB says, Edwardian adventurer Adam Adamant is frozen alive in a block of ice by his arch nemesis, the Face, in 1902. In 1966, workmen discover him, and he is revived, perfectly preserved, but completely bewildered in his new environment, swinging 60s London until he meets Georgina Jones, who helps him adapt, and before long, he is back to adventuring, solving crime, and fighting evil wherever it may lurk.
That sounds brilliant.
Oh, that's that sentence has a worrying backstory to it.
No. I'm genuinely saying that sounds brilliant. That sounds like something that I would watch.
Yeah. This first episode is titled A Vintage Year for Scoundrels. Well, any year for you, Paul, that, isn't it?
I do think 2025 is a vintage year for Scoundrels, though, wouldn't you say?
I would have to agree with you, yes.
Yes, I think so, yes.
It stars Gerald Harper as Adam Adamant, Juliet Harmer as Georgina Jones, Frida Jackson as Margot Kane, and Ivor Salter as Hoggett. That's people in this episode, at least.
Now, is this where Adamant got his name from?
Wait, what?
Adamant. Adam and the Ants. Is this where he got his name from?
Adam and the Ants. I don't know. I didn't think about that. Adam and the Ants. Adamant. It's very close. Yeah. That would make sense.
See, you looked at me like I was doing a bit. I really wasn't doing a bit. It was a genuine question.
Well, it had me worried because you said it so fast. It just sounded like you said Adam Adamant. I was like, yeah, this is where he gets the name because this is the show. Are you okay?
Yeah, I hope so.
Having a moment.
I'm always having a moment, Colin. I mean, he is very, very... No, I'm not going to do it. I won't do it. I was going to try and fit in as many Adamant songs as I can, but, I fell at the first hurdle,
Yeah, unless you've actually written them down.
Yeah, I was trying to do it like on the fly, and the only ones I can think of is Prince Charming.
Prince Charming, yes.
And
go on.
And music, yes.
Yeah, go on. Keep going. Let's hear the rest.
Oh, I've got an obscure one. Apollo. Is it called Apollo 9?
Might have to check.
I'm sure there's one called Apollo 9.
Is there?
Yeah.
Are we doing Adam and the Ants songs? Or are we doing solo career as well?
A bit of everything. Yeah,
bit of everything.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll even mention the episode of The Equalizer he was in. Nothing to do with this at all. But we're talking Adamant, so we might as well.
When did this turn into an episode about Adamant?
About a minute ago. Let's get it back.
Although it's not called Adamant, it's called Adam and the Ants.
Adamant, but I think he was Adamant later.
No, was he?
I think so. Isn't he called Adamant when he isn't he listed as Adamant
solo
in the
career.
credits of like the
Probably,
Equalizer?
yeah.
It was in an episode of the A-Team as well, or did I? No, that was Boy George.
But that was Boy George, yeah.
Very different.
Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm. Anyway, Adamant.
All right. So we should put out Adamant Lives as the full title. I always forget that it's called Lives in the title. Suffered the fate of a lot of BBC shows of this period, in that a lot of the original tapes are wiped.
Yeah, and apparently there's virtually nothing of season 2 left at all, isn't there? Just a couple of episodes.
Yeah, well, it's a shame.
I think they used to do it for space and to save money as well?
Yeah, because tapes were expensive back then, and they were like, oh, we don't need this episode of Adamant. No one's going to watch this again. Let's tape over it with Shakespeare in the Park or something.
Did the concept of reruns not exist at this point then? I guess it didn't, did it? No.
No.
No. I wish it didn't anymore.
Actually, it's some of the best things are reruns these days.
That is true. It's all we watch.
That's our whole reason for being here,
It
Paul.
is, really, isn't it?
Don't remove that.
Yeah.
We'd have nothing. Nothing, Paul. Nothing.
I just realised I crapped all over the podcast.
You did?
Well, it wouldn't be the first time.
No, that's true. Verity Lambert, Sidney Newman, and Donald Cotton are involved in the show, and of course, we're a part of the creation of Doctor Who.
Yeah, and the guy that created the credits for Doctor Who also did the credits for this show as well. I think his name was Bernard Lodge.
Nice credits.
I do like the credits and the music, but we'll talk about that, I'm sure.
Yeah, whatever. Gerald Harper was short-sighted and removed his glasses just before filming would begin. He also wore a wig and false eyebrows.
Yeah, he had to have his hairline drawn on, didn't he? Maybe I should go for that. Maybe I should draw a hairline.
That'd be a dramatic change if, like, you turned up at the podcast and you had a full head of hair suddenly. I'd be like, who's this?
Maybe this guy's going to be more professional, perhaps.
Yeah,
you know?
maybe you would be, because you'd be a character instead of being your normal misogynistic racist self.
No, that is the character, Colin. Remember, we play characters.
Oh, sorry. Yes,
podcast.
yeah, we play characters.
We're not even called Paul and Colin, right?
That's right. Sometimes I have trouble remembering your real name.
Or even who I am.
Who are you?
I don't know.
No, neither do I.
No.
Episode 13 of the first series, The League of Uncharitable Ladies, is the first piece of drama directed by Ridley Scott.
Yeah, I read that. That's interesting. Have you seen that one?
Yeah. I'm not up to that one yet.
Oh, right, okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he also directed a couple more episodes in the second series, but nobody's ever going to see those anymore.
No, they're gone, aren't they? I wonder if he's upset by that. Probably not. He's Ridley Scott, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he's got better things to think about. Probably doesn't even remember doing them.
Has he, though? I mean, I've seen Gladiator 2.
Really? So have I. It's Gladiator 1, right?
Pretty much, yeah, but less interesting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One character not in this episode, but is a regular later, is William E. Sims, an ex-music hall artiste who becomes Adam's manservant.
So do you mean the actor's an ex-music hall artiste, or the character is an ex?
No, his character.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He meets him in Blackpool.
Of course he does. I mean, where else would he meet him? Up the tower?
I beg your pardon?
Does he meet him up the tower?
No.
That's not a euphemism for, like,
it sounded like one.
I'll meet you up the tower later, all right.
How about a bit of up the tower?
It would be very on brand for the 70s and the 60s. More the 70s,
yes.
isn't it?
Yeah. It's said that the show was cancelled because it couldn't compete with the bigger, budgeted, and slicker Avengers.
That makes sense. I mean, this does have BBC Studio Land written all over it at times, doesn't it?
It does, although, like I said, that episode where they go to Blackpool, they did actually go to Blackpool, which I know doesn't mean much to a lot of listeners, but it's unusual for a BBC show at that period to actually go to the north.
I guess so. I mean, this episode features stuff of him running around Piccadilly Circus and things like that, doesn't it? Which was real at the time. But as like you say, that was just down the road, wasn't it?
But Piccadilly Circus was real at the time. Did you just say that?
No, you know what I mean. I mean, it wasn't. It
it's
wasn't fake,
not real anymore.
Maybe should we explain what Blackpool is to people outside the UK? I'll let you do that.
Yeah, sure. Blackpool is the Las Vegas of the north of England.
You can't even say it with a straight face, can you?
Okay. Although they talk about it in the episode that I watched, how much money goes through Blackpool at the time, and it was It was apparently
Yeah,
quite, a ritzy area with a lot of money going through the pleasure beach.
I think it still does, probably.
Probably,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, it still packs them in every summer. I think there's a lot more attractions there now than it even was when we were kids. I mean, it's still a shithole. So apologies to anyone who lives in Blackpool that listens to us, but
You like it though, don't
of course I do. Yeah. So do you. I mean, we lived in Wigan and probably used to go there every summer for like day trips and things like that.
I still have a 16mm city film of Blackpool illuminations from, I don't know, 1982.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, that my parents took.
Amazing. You should have that converted.
What, to Catholic? I can't even say.
To Catholicism. I can't say I'm Catholicism.
No.
We don't drink on this podcast at all. Just,
nope, we don't.
It's characters again.
Yeah, I mean, I have it. I do have it converted into digital, but it was done very poorly. So I still have the 16mm films. I would like to do it again properly.
Yeah. You should do. You should. I'd be interested in seeing that actually.
All right. Mm-hmm. There's some Doctor Who stuff.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, they used to. Yeah, we should say that used to be where the Doctor Who museum was.
Yeah, this is obviously before there was a museum, but they had like Daleks as part of the illuminations and things like that.
Excellent.
Talking of Avengers, which we were for a second, a while ago, Adamant carries a stick that conceals a sword, which is similar to John Steed's Avengers weapon, and there's actually a comment in a later episode when a character is examining Adamant's stick and says, better than an umbrella.
I like that, though. That's good. Yeah. The project was originally titled Magnus Hawk.
Magnus Hawk.
Mm-hmm.
Magnus Hawk.
Doesn't roll off the tongue, does it?
Well, Adamant is a cool name. I take it back.
There's some other ones as well. Other names considered for the title character were Cornelius Chance.
Cornelius Chance. Mm-hmm. Nice.
Rupert Death with an apostrophe.
Oh. Yeah, I'm not keen on that one.
Dexter Noble.
Dexter Noble's good.
Mm-hmm. I like that one. This is a weird one. Avelian Winton.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not keen on that.
Darius Crud.
Yeah.
Mm. And
pass on that one.
My personal favourite is Dick During. Coincidentally, your nickname at school, right?
It was, yeah. Although they used to use it the other way around, During Dick.
Why was that, Colin?
Because I was very daring.
And you were a dick?
Yes, exactly.
You part right into that one then. I couldn't help it. I saw the opening.
It's good.
Yeah, I had to.
Oh, yeah.
I had to insert it, yes.
All right, let's leap into the episode.
Bold as a knight in white armor, cold as a shot from a gun. If you should look for a man who loves danger, to whom love is a stranger, this man is the one.
So we have a very explosive opening, and I'd have to say it's a Bond-style opening, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, and I love the song over the credits. I thought that was great. Although it did feel a bit like a Monty Python parody. It reminded me of the song from Life of Brian a little bit.
Is it? And this is actually the catchiest bit for me, but is it the bit where they go, Adamant? Because I find myself just wandering around and then I'm doing something and I just go, Adamant in my head when I'm doing stuff.
At least you're doing it in your head and not doing it out loud.
Oh, yeah, because that would be weird.
That would be weird.
Because nobody would know what I was even doing. Who's Adamant? Wasn't he the guy with the stripe on his nose that did Prince Charming? No.
Yeah, don't go down that road again. Please.
Yeah, don't. No. You won't be able to name any of the songs.
Well, 3 at a push. We've already established.
Well, 2 and 1 were undecided
about. I'm sure Apollo 9's a real one.
Yeah. So we open in 1902 at a castle in Windsor. And Adamant is at a ball given by royalty, but somebody is trying to break in.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's dancing, and he reveals that he loves this woman called Louise.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But they can't be together because it could be used against him.
Yeah, this is a line you use, right?
Yeah, I've said, I'm sorry, my resolve is as if it's blue steel, which is what he says.
I can picture you saying that. I was thinking blue steel. Was that a thing before this episode, or do you think that it originated with this? Because blue steel's a thing now, isn't it? They talk about a blue steel look and all of that.
Yeah, but he's talking about it's not the same. He's talking about a sword. A blue steel is as solid as that. His resolve is as solid as a sword of steel.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if that's where the phrase came from.
And then it became part of. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Because this, as we're going to go through this episode, I can't help but think that. I mean, this premise has been used in lots of other things.
Oh, I'm
Austin
assuming
Powers.
Austin Powers. Yeah, exactly. It's like, I'm sure he just watched this and went, I remembered watching this when he was a kid.
Oh, absolutely. He must.
Because he grew up in Liverpool, right?
And it's too similar at times, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I mean, he's very Austin Powers-like, isn't he? In the performance is very Austin Powers-like.
Yes.
And even if you think about things like, Captain America, Marvel's Captain America, he's a man out of time, frozen, wakes up in modern times. And there's even a scene in that first Captain America where he runs out into Times Square and he's dazzled by all the lights and stuff.
Oh, so you're saying that Captain America ripped off Adamant Lives?
I can't remember what year Stan Lee, because Captain America existed in the 1930s and then it was a thing that died away. And then Stan Lee brought it back and he came up with the concept of let's thaw it. He's been frozen for 30 years and we'll thaw him out and he comes back into modern times. I'd be interested to find out when that happened, when Stan Lee came up with that concept, in terms of when this episode was made of this.
Around 1966?
Yeah, it could well be.
In fairness, though, Stan Lee would have been in America and stuff doesn't travel across like it does now.
Guess not. No. Yeah, I guess not.
It's like discovering that Dennis the Menace was created in America on the same day as it was created in the UK, and it's a totally different thing.
Yeah, I always assumed it was based on the same thing, but it's not, is it?
No, they totally didn't know the other part, because don't forget, news doesn't travel the way it does now. They didn't know the other what was happening.
So it was just possibly one of those random acts of
yeah, could be.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Adam sees two interlopers and they fight. So what do you think of the fight sequences?
I love the way they're shot. It's so. I hesitate to use the word real, but because it's shot so sort of like kinetically and everything's like, it looks a bit slapdash, so it gives it a more real feel to it. Even though it's obviously staged, you can see it's staged.
No, that doesn't change either. For later episodes, some of them you think like, how short-sighted was Gerald? Was he really smacking these people? Because there's an occasional punch that looks a bit nasty.
Well, that was what I was going to ask. I mean, because it looks like he's doing all his own stunts.
Yes, appears to be. Yeah.
I mean,
I've not seen any episodes where I've gone, oh, that's not him.
There's moments where he's leaping across things and he goes flying into things, and he's at one point he throws himself onto the floor, and it doesn't look like it looks like a studio floor. It doesn't look like there's any mats there,
Right.
And it's like, this guy must be hard as nails to be able to do this.
Yeah.
They made him better back then, didn't they?
They did, yeah. So Adam captures one of the men and gives the man a choice. Either he dies at the hands of His Majesty's executioner, or he can jump to his death. That's an interesting idea for our protagonist, is that he's not killing the person, but he's not giving the person much choice.
Well, I mean, he's still a hero, isn't he? It's kind of like that thing of it's kind of like Bond.
It's an honour.
Yeah, it's like Bond.
Yeah.
Bond kills people, but he always kind of, there's that grey area, isn't there? That he's not really a bad guy, but he might do the odd occasional hazy thing.
Yeah, although in this case, I think Adamant sees somebody jumping to the death instead of choosing the executioner as an honourable way to die.
Yeah, and he later in the episode he notices the lack of that in someone, doesn't he? Yeah. Which is good. I have to say, what do you think of just? I know we talked about his physical performance. What do you think of Gerald Harper's performance?
Sometimes when I realised that he was short-sighted, I often watch him like how he seems to be staring at the wrong place at the wrong time. I was like, is that because he just couldn't see what was going on?
Maybe that just adds to because it is a completely over the top performance, isn't it?
Yeah, and he's supposed to be discombobulated by everything around him, at least when he gets into 66. And I think he's actually pretty good at it.
So do I. I think it just hits the right tone because it's over the top. It's a bit manic. It's a bit crazy. And it's got that kind of tongue-in-cheek daring do thing as well that he does. And he does it really, really well. I'm guessing it's supposed to be tongue-in-cheek.
I would think so.
I hope it is because it feels tongue-in-cheek.
Oh, it's very serious.
Yeah, I hope not.
Adam reveals that there is a mastermind behind everything that is going wrong with the country at this time. You know, the war in Crimea, etc. There's somebody controlling everything. He gets a note telling him to go to an address in Stepney, and this note is apparently from Louise, who was dancing with her earlier, who he couldn't marry, and the woman he loves. So he rides a horse there, and we see Louise being dragged away, and Adam enters an old mansion, and there's like dusty covered statues. This sequence has a really weird soundscape to it. Yeah,
it reminded me of some of the more strange stuff that was in the Avengers.
Yeah, because there's a soundtrack, but it's not really music. It's like somebody dropping instruments.
Yeah, it's
and it's really quiet, even though there is a soundtrack.
What's that thing? Is it you probably know this better than me. The two kinds of sound that you can have in movies. Is it non-diegetic and diegetic? Yeah.
Yes, non-diegetic. Yeah.
It's like that.
Yeah. So in this there is non-diegetic sound, which is the soundtrack of the instruments, and then the diegetic sound is the sound of Louise being dragged and screaming. But that sound is really quiet compared to the soundtrack. But even the soundtrack is sparse.
Yeah. It all adds to it though. It works.
Yeah. And you don't really expect it in a show like this.
No. You've got to say though, it's a very elaborate trap.
Yeah, it is, because he's chasing them, and then he bursts through a door, and then falls into a net. Whoever she is. I know he falls into an actual rope net.
He does. Yeah.
Which is then cut, and then he falls to the ground, and he's unconscious.
He is, and then he's woken by a guy that really needs to speak up.
Yes, because the guy
don't do it.
Talks like this all the time.
I find this infuriating.
The whispering guy?
The whispering guy, yeah. This is what's he called? The face?
The face.
Which is that because he wears a mask and you can't see his face?
That's right.
You're gonna do that whole thing now. You're gonna do that.
The whole podcast will be done like this.
Check, please.
Yeah. So and the face is annoyed because Adam keeps interfering in his plans, right? So the face's idea is to put Adam into suspended animation forever, a living death.
Maybe just shoot him, or stab him, or something.
No, that's not elaborate enough for the face.
Well, you keep saying the face. I keep thinking of Dirk Benedict.
I know, so do I.
I've got a question. So, I know you're going to talk about this later, but you've watched a few more of these, haven't you?
Yes.
Has this face guy frozen himself, and does he come back later?
Not so far.
Oh, okay. Because it kind of like they set it up as this big thing, and I in the back of my mind thinking, this guy's obviously he's gonna come back into modern times later. He's obviously frozen himself as well, so that he can come back as well at some point.
Not as far as I've watched, but don't forget that most of the second season is missing. So maybe it's a whole season of face.
Yeah. It would be a shame because they go to great lengths to set this guy up. You know.
Yeah. So this evil guy, the face, asks Adam who he would like to see before he dies. And he says, Louise. And she approaches. But then it's revealed that she is actually on the side of the face. And her kissing his nemesis is the last thing he sees as he's injected into sleep.
Yeah.
So what would you like to be the last face that you see before you die?
My cat.
Well, seriously?
Yeah.
Oh.
Actually, no. I say the cat. I should really say my son, shouldn't I? Really?
Yeah. That might have been a better idea. Yeah. Gee.
All right. Can I have my son holding my cat?
Right, but the cat is at the foreground. Your son's in the back.
Well, you could be lifting him up slowly in front of.
He's lifted up. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that all right?
I didn't know you loved your cat that much.
I love him. Yeah, he's my cat. He's my other child.
Oh, is he?
The furry one.
The furry one that's cheaper to keep.
Yeah, and then there's James.
No, that joke doesn't
I know, because I
work.
got it the wrong way round.
Yeah, you did.
People know what I meant.
No, they don't know the names of people.
No, James has been on the show.
Oh. But what's the name of the cat?
Kylo.
Yeah. Embarrassing, that. Isn't
I
it?
didn't name him.
Yeah.
Carry on.
So now we cut to 1966 and a group of construction workers uncover Adam in a block of ice.
There's no messing about here, is there? You got.
No, he's just undocked. There he is.
Yeah, you got 10 minutes of Victorian stuff. Bam, straight into the modern times.
Mm.
It reminded me. It was that I got the same feeling that I got when we watched Star Maidens, and they jarringly cut from the spaceship to a Ford Fiesta driving down the road. You know, it was.
Yeah.
I like that. I thought it's good.
There, we're done. Just wipe the hands.
Yeah.
Let's move on. So his body is taken to a hospital, and of course, there's a lot of press want to know what's going on.
And a lot of exposition as well in a moment.
Yes, we do, because he's got some documents on him that say he's Adamant, but the doctors are like, well, it can't be. This is ridiculous. It must be just a nut job.
So I'm guessing that the Adamant in this world is kind of like almost this world famous crime fighter from Victorian era who was real, and everyone knows he was real. And yeah, okay,
right, yep. He's an adventurer, explorer, a fighter, and everybody knows him, because they say that he, even though he was. People said he was dead in 1902. Nobody ever found his body, and so some people are convinced he never died.
Yeah, we get all that in a big expo dump, don't we?
Yeah.
One of the doctors, yeah.
We do. But Adam is delirious. He doesn't know where he is, and he keeps mumbling about the king being in danger. The doctors don't believe him, but then Adam escapes, right?
Yeah, doesn't he say to one of the doctors, "Get back, you foreign devil"?
He does indeed, yes.
Yeah. Oh, well. Yes, he does escape. I know what you're going to say, but it does feel like a parody at times. It feels like a long sketch,
of a comedy.
Of a comedy, yeah.
But do you think that's because you're looking at it now, where comedy would be based on this show?
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. Yeah, I don't think you would have seen it this way back then.
No, because it would have been original, and you'd be like, "Oh, this is cool."
Mm-hmm. It's hard to get that get out of that mindset though when you're so familiar with it, But yeah.
And then you're watching this now, and you're going, "Was it? Oh, Sylvester Stallone, Demolition Man."
It's true.
This TV show off.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
The face is Wesley Snipes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, I hadn't even thought of that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He escapes into another woman's room, and did you notice she's reading a magazine about Dr. No?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I saw the big Bond thing on it. Yeah.
Yeah. And he gives her a blade to defend herself, because he sounds like a loony at this point, but he doesn't know what's going on.
And I think she's kind of up for it at first, isn't she?
Yes.
Because she's obviously a fan of Bond and spies and things like that, and she thinks, "Oh, this is going to be exciting." And then she thinks, "No, he's actually a nutter."
Yeah, it's a little too much. But then he starts to wander around London, but he's confused by the lights and the sounds, right?
Yeah, apparently all this was done on the fly. And a lot of those people are actual real just bystanders just watching the filming.
You can see that because they're just stirring. And that also happens at the Blackpool one when they're filming on location. You can see that all the people are just like stirring at the cameras and stuff.
It really works, though, because they're not acting.
No, I actually think this is a great little sequence because you got all this weird angles, and you got vehicles and striptease places, and then there's people echoing, but then there's people talking, but their lips aren't moving.
Yeah.
and the voices come afterwards, and I think it's really well done.
I thought this was really good as well. I mean, you see, I think he's in Soho at one point, isn't he? And
Yes, yeah, in the 60s.
Yeah.
So it's a different place.
Different
as it
place
is
now,
now.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
we-
I enjoyed the sequence on the escalator as well in the London Underground, where he's trying to fight against the way that the escalator's going. He doesn't understand it.
Where am I? What is this hellhole?
Yeah, that was great.
And we see Georgina Jones following him.
Hmm. He talks to an old lady in London as well, doesn't? Who comes to ask?
Yes.
I thought this is totally unrealistic because there's no way a Londoner would have offered help to anyone. It just wouldn't happen, would it?
Well, maybe in 1966.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, we were all a friendlier people.
Were we? Okay. I'll take your word for that then.
So he was put into the ice in 1902 and revived in 1966. So that's 53 years. If we were in a block of ice and thawed now, we would be coming from 1971. Imagine being thawed in ice in 1971 and now being
Yeah, I mean,
in the world.
I suppose we think about the fact that it really hasn't changed that much, but it has a lot, hasn't it?
From 1971, yeah.
It's like the Dark Ages compared to now, isn't it? In a lot of ways. Yeah. Although in some ways we've gone backwards, but you know.
Yeah, it's getting closer to 1971.
It is every day, Colin. Yes.
That is true. So maybe if there'll be an episode of Adamant where he's frozen ice in 1971, and then he's revived in 2029, and he goes, "Oh, it's the same thing." That's the end of the show.
It's funny you should say that because all the way through this, I kept thinking that I'd love to see like a new version of this.
And so, what year would you have? Would you have him 1902 again, or would you move it?
I'd probably move
to
it.
1970s?
I'd maybe move it like 60s, and then Wake Up Now.
Yeah.
So take it from where they are, where he wakes up, but make that the starting off point, and go forward from there.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a Life on Mars, but the other way around.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I bet you the people, the two guys that created Life on Mars know this show as well.
Yeah, I bet they do. And I bet there's somebody thinking about something like
Oh,
this.
there must be. Yeah, you can. I was surprised it didn't happen in the 90s with someone like Vic Reeves. You know, like they did the Randall and Hopkirk thing.
Yeah.
You can picture Vic Reeves back in the 90s with his ruffled shirt. I mean, he kind of dressed like Austin Powers at that point, didn't he?
That is true. Yeah. I always get this show mixed up with Jason King too.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, the very similar central characters, although he just is from the 60s.
Yeah, he is. He is, but and for some reason he was a huge like
Sex
magnet for women, sex
beast,
symbol.
yes.
Even though you look at him and you go, how?
Yeah, the
okay.
only other thing I remember that guy from, isn't he Clytus in Flash Gordon?
He's Clytus in Flash Gordon, and his Jason King character started in the series Department
S. Yeah.
Before it got its spin-off.
We'll have to do Jason King for the podcast at some point.
Yeah, we will. Yeah. So Adam starts asking people where he is and what is this place. So eventually Georgina introduces herself and she tells Adam to follow her. Adam thinks she's a boy because of the way she's dressed.
That's a running thing all the way through it, isn't it? That he keeps referring to as a boy.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he collapses and wakes up in Georgina's flat.
Speaking of outfits, by the way, I just wanted to say, love his outfit, love a cape.
Yeah, you've always had a thing for a cape, haven't
Oh,
you?
yeah. I mean, if I could get away with a cape now, I'd wear a cape.
Would you? Don't you think they just get in the way?
Yeah, but they're fun, aren't they? You can flap them around, you know, you can twirl them, you can be mysterious.
Twirl 'em.
Yeah.
Mysterious,
I like it.
Yeah.
I always wear a cape on Halloween. Love it. Leave it on all day.
Yeah. Do you?
Unless I have to go to work, obviously. I don't wear it at work, you know, but
Why not?
because it'd be fucking weird, wouldn't it? But
No, it's Halloween. Everyone's dressed up.
yeah,
People come to my workplace at Halloween dressed
I
up.
don't think they'd appreciate it in a hospital, Colin.
Or you dressed up as Death in a cape and just wandering around.
Yeah, it might not go down well, you know.
Oh, and then you wear a gown, right? And you put on like roller boots or something, so you glide down the corridors in the hospital.
Don't tempt me. Don't tempt me, all right?
That sounds good, right?
It does.
Yeah. So we learned that Georgina's grandfather told her all about Adam Adamant, and she's a big fan.
Yeah, she's a groupie, isn't she?
She is, yeah. Of course, Adam's confused by Georgina's clothing and slang.
Did I miss something? But how did she find him?
Oh, because it's in all the newspapers, so her grandfather told about. So she was hanging outside the hospital.
That clears that up. That's fine. Okay. Yep.
Yeah. Obviously, Adamant's like he's horrified that he's in a flat alone with her because that's not a Victorian thing to do, to be with a woman, and he's worried about her reputation.
It's the 60s. Doesn't matter.
No, like she says, I don't have a reputation.
We're in swinging London.
Yeah, we are. She tries to convince him that he's 99 years old.
Looking good, though.
He is, yeah.
Apart from the fake hair, the fake eyelashes, and the fact that he's blind. But other than that, he's doing all right.
We're not one to complain.
No.
So then we cut to a party at a discotheque.
Do you think that 60s nightclubs really looked like this?
I mean, I imagine they were bigger and more swinging than what the BBC could afford.
But they always look like this, though, don't they? And I've seen them in things like the Persuaders and Randall and Hopkirk, and they always look like this.
Well, describe that look if you can.
That kind of quiche 60s, lots of discs, lots of things hanging, cages.
Yeah.
And lots of people dancing very badly.
I mean, maybe that's what it was like.
Maybe. It reminded me of. Do you remember the nightclub in Dracula AD 1972, where it all just felt a little past its sell-by date, even then,
Yeah, I mean, what we've got to remember is a lot of these scenes when they're filmed, there's no music or sound. There's just people dancing in silence.
So that's why people look like they're dancing very badly, aren't they?
Yeah.
Trying to make it fit,
Because nobody knows what's being played, so they're all dancing differently.
Mm-hmm. You see that a lot
you
see that a lot in episodes of Miami Vice. It's kind of funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wondered.
No, maybe that was what life was like in 60s.
Maybe it was. But she just left him in her flat and then went out on the piss, basically.
Doesn't she work there? It's her grandfather's place, or she calls him the grandfather.
It's not above it, though, is it? Or
it's underneath. Yeah,
it's underneath it, right?
Her flat is above the discotheque.
So she went to talk to her grandfather?
Yeah.
Right, okay, got you. Okay.
Yeah. And she's looking for records and stuff. And then two guys are hassling the grandfather who owns the place, and they're shaking him down for protection money, which he won't give. And these men work for somebody called Margot.
Mm-hmm.
So he won't pay up, struggles with them. One of the men accidentally stabs the old guy. Georgina finds him, and we learn that she calls him a grandfather. I can't work out whether it's really a grandfather. That's just a term they use.
It could be either, but I assumed that he was a real grandfather.
Which would explain why she's living in the apartment above, I guess. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he dies. The police question her, and she tells the detective that it was all over a protection racket, and that the cops, they don't do anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
But they say, well, if you had identified the men, we can do something about it. And she agrees. But for now, get some rest. Go to the station in the morning.
He's a friendly police officer.
He's fairly good, yeah.
He is, yeah. I wasn't being sarcastic. I meant that he was genuinely a friendly police officer.
I know how you hate the Rozzers.
No, I don't. I don't have a problem with them. I don't appreciate that you referred to them as Rozzers either. I didn't say that. You said that. Don't come after me.
Back at her flat, she finds Adamant asleep, and he wakes up in the morning and is horrified to find that he spent the time there because of his Victorian principles. I kind of wish her name wasn't Miss Jones, though.
I know what you're going to say.
Every time Adam says it, I think of Rising Dabs. Because of the way he says it, he goes, oh, Miss Jones.
I wrote the exact same note.
I was like, oh, don't say it like that.
Which one of us does the best impression?
You.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Give me yours.
I can't.
You just did it a minute ago. Do it again.
Oh, no, I don't want to. I'm embarrassed now.
Oh, okay.
You shamed me.
What was that?
Holy shit. Okay, wait, no, I will do it.
Hang on. Hang on. I can do better than that.
It's good because about 5% of our listeners actually know what we're talking about at this point.
We're talking about Rising Damp, right?
Yeah.
The Miss Jones.
Oh,
It was all right, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was good.
I just needed to get the pitch right. It took me a minute.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all I can think of when it happens.
Have you ever thought how much Ralph Fiennes looks like Leonard Rossiter? If they were going to make a biopic about Leonard Rossiter, they couldn't do better than getting Ralph Fiennes to play him.
I hadn't thought about it, but now when I see him next, that's all I'm going to think about.
Yeah.
Tell you what I have noticed. Bloody Sean Pertwee. Bloody hell, is he looking like his dad?
He's getting more and more like his dad, isn't he?
He is, isn't he?
Yeah. They ever want to bring back that doctor?
They're going to, and they must do at some point. There's no way that they're not going to ask Sean Pertwee to play his dad.
Have you ever seen the picture of him where he dressed up like him with the wig and everything? I think he did it maybe for Halloween or something like that. Yeah.
But now he doesn't even need that.
He is turning into his dad. Isn't he older now than what his dad was when he died?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Or is he older now than his dad was when he got Doctor Who?
It's
one of those.
definitely that. Yeah. Definitely. Because he's in Silent. Is it Silent Witness?
One of those.
In that. Yeah, he's in that occasionally.
Yeah.
And I swear I saw him and I was like, bloody hell.
His dad had one of those, and he's getting the same face now, isn't he? They've got those faces that look really old, even though they're still reasonably youngish.
Yeah.
You know, because I think his dad was like in his late 40s, early 50s when he got Doctor Who, but he looks like he's about 10 years older than that.
Yeah, well, that's the 70s part.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Bacon and eggs for breakfast, beer for lunch, whiskey for tea.
And first, that is your diet now.
Yeah. I'm just reeling off tomorrow's menu, Colin. That's all I'm telling you.
Yeah. Talking of food, Adam agrees to have breakfast with her. He asks for some kedgeree and devilled kidneys. But what he gets is Rice Krispies.
What are devilled kidneys? I know what a kidney is, but what's a devilled kidney? I can't even say it. Kidney. It's
a kidney that's really evil.
Is it?
I mean, I assume it's the same as deviled eggs, right? Whatever devilly bit you do to it is what makes it a deviled.
I'm guessing the spicy-ish or something. Maybe a bit hot. You know. Yeah.
I mean, the bigger question is why you didn't ask what kedgeree is.
Do you know what that is?
Yeah, it's like a cooked flaked fish, traditionally smoked haddock with boiled rice, parsley, hard-boiled eggs, curry powder, lemon juice.
Did you look it up?
No, I just know what it is. I like a bit of kedgeree in the morning.
Yeah.
My manservant makes me kedgeree. Totally useless at deviled eggs. Don't know what they are.
Oh, right, okay.
I also noticed that they couldn't call it Rice Krispies because this is a BBC show. They had to call it some weird term that she heard it.
Yeah, if this was ITV, they'd have got a good sponsorship deal there, wouldn't they?
Yeah. They would have had the snap, crackle, and pop characters in the background waving.
I can see the appeal of wanting to put his reaction to modern conveniences like this breakfast cereal into every script. I'm guessing they do that, right?
Yeah. We'll talk about... I will talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah, there are things that come up that he's just like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Especially slang.
Oh, yeah. I'm hoping that it's amusing. It doesn't get tiring.
We'll talk about that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So as they're talking, the two men have killed her grandfather and Margot Kane enter her apartment. They just walk in. Yeah.
This actress playing Margot Kane, Frida Jackson, she was a great character actor at the time. The one performance, and you're going to say, of course it does, but the one performance that I always think of is she plays a kind of a witchy, psychotic servant in Brides of Dracula.
Right. Yeah. This series has a lot of character actors in it.
You get that in all these shows, don't you? You know, you
do?
go, oh, that's that person, and this is that person, and that's the appeal of watching these things, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. So they threaten her and tell Georgina that she better not talk to the coppers. Margot's an interesting character, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a character you see every day, is it?
No, it's interesting that the basic storyline of a protection racket is, we've seen that before, but then they make the leader a woman, an old woman.
An older woman as well.
Yeah.
who smokes cigars, and
That's right. Yeah, and she's pretty nasty.
she is very nasty.
She slaps Adam.
Mm-hmm. And he's taken aback by it all, isn't he? Because this goes back to that honor thing that we saw at the beginning, isn't it?
Yeah, he believes women are not like this. But also, we should point out that he's very weak at this moment.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Revived.
Isn't there a moment? This is one of those moments we were talking about where I thought, "Whoa, he's really doing that." When he tries to chase them, but he's not at full strength. He leaps over the bed, doesn't he, and literally just crashes to the floor.
Yeah. So Margot says to Georgina that she shouldn't go to the cops, and that 5 minutes would be, and you won't remember your own name, which is your chat-up line, right?
Yeah, have you been following me again?
Yeah, been listening, writing notes.
Mm.
And so Adam tries to do something, but he's still too weak, and the villains leave. And Georgina explains about the protection racket. But she still wants to go to the police, even though they've been threatened, and Adam will help her. My sword will be at your service. Just a few seconds silent for that thought.
I'm not saying anything.
Because obviously I haven't mentioned that Georgina is quite attractive and I quite like her.
No, you haven't mentioned that, Colin. No.
No, because that's going to be cut out, you see. So this is the bit that gets left in.
Yeah.
The clean bit gets left in.
Yeah, I know. And I'm going to leave this bit in as well, because that's funny then, because people won't know what the conversation was beforehand, you see. So.
Great, thanks very much.
That's all right.
Appreciate it.
I did like the line when, doesn't Margot call her a stupid little scrubber? I haven't heard the phrase scrubber in a long time.
That surprised me that you haven't heard it for a while. Oddly.
No.
I imagine people say that to you all the time.
No.
No, right, yeah, but it is quite out of place.
Yeah, it is. It is a bit weird.
Yeah. Adam tries to regain his strength while Margot follows Georgina to the police station. Margot is angry with her minions and believes that Georgina did talk and that she needs to be stopped.
It is like we said about Margot. It is one of the most British things I think I've seen in a long time, that she is the main villain in our opening story.
Yes,
you wouldn't get this in another in like an American show, would you?
No.
They'd pit him up against someone of equal stature,
right?
Yeah,
and especially the way she treats the men that work for her.
Yeah, and they're both like idiots, aren't they? As well.
Yeah.
You get that today. You would get that today, wouldn't you?
You would, but it doesn't feel the same way.
No, and she wouldn't. No disrespect to Frida Jackson, but she wouldn't look like Frida Jackson, would she? She'd be young and sexy.
Yeah.
Not that Frida Jackson isn't sexy in this. I'm not saying she's not. I'm just saying that.
No, Frida Jackson looks like the way the character should look like.
Yeah, realistic. Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Georgina goes back to the club. And Hicks, which is one of Margot's, I guess, minions, I'm going to call him, is disguised as a copper.
Mm-hmm.
In the club, Georgina calls Adam, but he has trouble understanding how to use a telephone. It might have been useful to explain to him what one was before going off. Yeah.
He flicks the receiver off with his sword, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because it's just ringing.
How did he know to do that? How did he know that to make it stop ringing, you had to lift this thing off the other bit of it?
Telephones were invented in the late 1800s, so there's a good chance he knew what a telephone was, but then they don't look like the one that she's in. So
we'll go with that then. We'll go with that then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And he hears her voice, right?
Mm-hmm.
And her call is cut off, and Adam goes to help. He doesn't realise that the cop outside is Hicks, and he's bashed on the head, knocked out.
Yeah, he's instantly knocked out.
Mm.
And by this point now, he's got his mojo back, hasn't he? Because we've had a little moment of him like
lifting
practicing
chairs and
Yeah,
whipping his blade around.
Yeah, that chair looked very, very light, didn't it? When he lifted it out, it looked like it was. There was not a heft.
Ball sword.
Yeah, it looked like one of those.
Yeah.
But yeah, he just instantly gets knocked out. At this point, I'm thinking, is he really this good? Is that the gag, that he's not really as good as everyone thinks he is?
Oh, I see. Right. Yeah. Well, he gets knocked out and he has flashbacks to Louise and being knocked out in 1902, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When he wakes up, Margot and the minions have him tied up, and they take him to Georgina's place.
Mm-hmm.
And this plan is to make the cops think Adam,
Him, yes.
him, killed Georgina because she read the paper and everybody thinks that this Adamant is a nutcase, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she says the country's lousy with sex maniacs now.
Don't look at me like that.
I know, just you should. Welcome to 2025.
Yeah.
So the plan is to leave the gas on and then come back in an hour when they're knocked out and untie them and then leave and then call the police, and the police will find the bodies and think that for some reason that Adamant killed Georgina.
I do feel that Margot's downfall will be her overly elaborate plan to kill him.
You're still sticking to the just kill him.
Well, you know, there's a couple of times now where it would be a lot easier. You know.
Yeah. Adam, whilst tied up, struggles to reach the gas tap. He shuts it off with his mouth and then breaks a window.
It looked like an effort the way he was dragging himself along that floor. It did look good, and then he just clamps his chops around the gas
tap,
thing and turned it off. Yeah. I liked it.
Oh yeah, all realistic.
Mm-hmm.
Margot and her minions return, and a fight breaks out. Solid fight again.
Love this fight scene. Again, felt really. It's ludicrously stagey, but yet the way it's shot and the way that the actors are just throwing themselves at each other, it feels real. Like
there is a weirdness about it where sometimes you watch it and you go, it's just like done a weird kick and nothing. And then you'll watch it and they'll do this punch and it'll look like he hit the person and the person will go flying into a table or something, and then he'll pick them up and they'll just start like smacking each other. And you're like, hold on. This is quite full on.
It swings backwards and forwards, doesn't it? Between you feel like this is a bit naff, and then it swings back the other way, and you think this is great. This is really good.
No, totally. That doesn't change in the other episodes either. That carries on. So Margot runs away while there's a fight going on, but Georgina follows her. Meanwhile, Adamant dispatches the two villains and then follows Georgina, and they're on the roof. Margot has Georgina by the neck and is pushing her over the ledge of the building. Margot lets her go, but Adamant grabs her and pulls her back. And then Margot attacks, but Adamant just knocks her over the building to her death.
Bit of a callback again to that scene on the balcony in Victorian era as well, isn't it? Yeah. Got two choices. Did you notice the old Granada TV studio logo on one of the buildings behind them?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Yeah, they're obviously filming it. Well, maybe they were in Manchester, I don't know, but the old Granada TV logo was on one of the buildings that was over behind where they were.
Okay. Interesting. Nice. He pulls Georgina up and then he says goodbye to her, and that he he's never going to see her again because he's got stuff to do. And the episode ends.
Yeah, and they set off, I guess, for more adventures.
Maybe. Who knows?
Well, you know. But
I know. I do. So, Paul, what did you think of Adamant Lives?
I'd never seen an episode of this before in my life, although I was obviously aware of it from like 60s documentaries, and it pops up in books that I've read about, and I've seen photographs and clips and things like that. I got to say, I had a lot of fun with this. Really enjoyed it. I really like the premise. I think that's great. There's lots of scope for humour in this.
Yeah.
Probably why it's been copied so many times in like other movies and TV shows. Austin Powers, like we said, Gerald Harper's performance, it's manic, it's completely over the top, but you still kind of believe it as well. Yeah. It's completely believable. You believe that this guy's come from Victorian times, and even with all that boy's own daring do thing that he's got, he sells it so well that you kind of just go with it.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for these sort of 60s, 70s TV shows anyway, and especially the BBC ones, weirdly, because they kind of feel like at times that you're watching a play in a theatre rather than a TV show.
I think a lot of them were filmed as if they were theatrical, what we call near live now.
So like 2-3 cameras, controller in the control room, and then they cut it together as they're doing it, don't they? Yeah. I like that. And that theme tune. Fantastic.
Good theme tune, right?
Fantastic. Yeah. I loved it. I had a really good time watching this, and it's an absolute hit from me. And I'm I know I say this a lot about all these shows that I've never seen before. I'm going to go and watch some more. They are all on YouTube, the ones that exist. If anyone wants to go and watch this, they're on YouTube.
Right.
But you've.
I've done 11 episodes so far,
wow.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I like the concept behind the show, and I also like Gerald Harper in the role. I think the sequence where Adamant is confusing and bumbling around the city to be really nicely done. I love Georgina Jones in a unhealthy way. The run-of-the-mill protection racket story is made much more rich by having the main villain be an old woman called Margot.
Yeah.
The theme is catchy. And the incidental music is sometimes quite interesting.
Oh yeah. I like the score all the way through it, really. And I like your point about. I agree with your point about the. I didn't mention it. The characters, the other characters, all the incidental characters, they're all interesting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You imagine there's more to them than what is shown.
Definitely.
Yeah. There seems to be more thought placed into the production design than you'd normally expect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So for me, this is a hit, and it made me want to watch more.
And how did that go?
Okay, so I have an addendum to this. I've watched 11 episodes, and I've started to have reservations about it.
Oh, right. Okay. How so?
It falls into a formula.
Right. I kind of feel like I know where you're going to go with this, but go on.
Each episode has a beautiful woman involved that Adamant falls for because he can't believe women can be evil, even if Georgina Jones tells him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's the first thing that happens every episode. And you think after he'd been screwed over by the 10th woman, he'd become one of those incel people.
He could be the Victorian. Maybe he's the first.
Maybe he's the
Maybe
first beginning of the whole movement.
Yeah. But he got screwed over in Victorian times, which is what led him to be frozen in the first
and he
place.
doesn't seem to learn.
No, yeah, I get that,
Yeah. He gets knocked out and tied up in every episode so far.
Oh, no. Okay.
Someone hits him from behind,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how they get to the third act.
Okay.
Georgina Jones always finds a job working at the place that Adamant is investigating against Adam's wishes.
So a lot of vacancies in the 60s, from the sounds of it.
I guess so, yeah.
A lot of job vacancies. Okay.
Yeah. So there are those things where I've wished, don't do that, because now I know where you're going with this again, because you're doing the same thing you did last episode.
Yeah.
But I'm still watching it.
Do you think you're going to finish what exists?
Yes.
You are?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to finish what exists.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I just wanted to caution with those words that they lean into the formula a little too much.
I think I'll keep going. I'll keep going and see how it goes with the caveat of what you've said in the back of my mind, I think. But
right.
Yeah, I'll keep going.
Yeah. So that's the end of this episode. It's a hit from both of us. So check out Adamant Lives, and you can check it out on YouTube. So
yeah, it's all up there.
Yeah, great. Well, thank you to our Patreon supporters who help our old episodes remain online. And other than the usual places, you can now find us on Blue Sky.
What's that?
I mean, it's the future, Paul.
Is that right?
It's X without the Nazis.
I was going to say it's a version of the thing that the other guy has, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we won't mention him.
Okay.
Yeah, we won't mention him.
No, don't. Other than that, thank you for listening, and join us next time in retrospection. But from me, for now, it's goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Ooh.